Hi, my name is Natalia Wilson, and I am a junior honors political science major, legal communications minor from Coral Springs, Florida. I will be arguing against explicit music being protected by the First Amendment.
Hi, my name is Casey Jackson. I am a sophomore TV and film major from Chicago, Illinois. I will be arguing for the protection of explicit music by the First Amendment.
I argue for the restriction of explicit music because explicit music can promote violence, encourage misogynoir, and allow for the widespread use of hate speech. In September 2022, 17-year-old Isaiah Ross shot and killed two other teens in North Carolina. He then took to SoundCloud to record and post rap tracks detailing the slangs. His lyrics featured gruesome details of his crimes, with one song mentioning lining up headshots and another mentioning having, quote, shit I can't talk about or can't discuss, end quote. This teenage boy should not have had the ability to murder two other people and freely share the gruesome details of his crime on SoundCloud. Moreover, according to the American Psychological Association, violent song lyrics increase negative emotions and thoughts that can lead to aggression. So, not only was this extremely insensitive to the lives lost, but instances such as these support a need for restricting explicit music because of its ability to incite violence. Explicit music has also been shown to promote misogyny and misogynoir, which is the anti Black racist misogyny that Black women experience. I will be discussing this point specifically as it pertains to rape culture. One example is in the song UOENO by Rick Ross, where he says, quote, put Molly all in her champagne, she ain't even know it. I took her home and I enjoyed that, she ain't even know it, end quote. It is clear that these lyrics are encouraging sexual assault and a lack of consent. We see these themes across not just rap and hip hop, but across all genres of explicit music. Promoting messages such as these is harmful to all women as we are the ones being targeted by these lyrics. Furthermore, explicit music should be restricted because it allows for the widespread use of hate speech, which can be harmful to any marginalized community. Explicit music naturally permits the use of slurs, which in many cases can be acceptable to use within a community, but of course, music is accessible to everyone and can be created by anyone. Recently, artists such as Lizzo and Beyonce pulled and re released songs in which they used an ableist slur. As the opposing side may argue, hate speech is subjective, but it must be considered that it is more beneficial to prevent hate speech in music than to deal with the repercussions after the fact. Restricting explicit music would resolve this issue.
I argue for the protection of explicit music because restricting this music would be taking away artists' right to express themselves the way they see fit. The definition of freedom of speech, which is one part of the First Amendment, is the right to express any opinions and ideas without censorship or restraint. Therefore, we have no right to limit artists from expressing themselves in their music. Most people say that explicit music shouldn't be protected because some artists, and I say this with quotes, promote/inspire violence and violent acts, or is too obscene due to sexually explicit lyrics, or is too harmful to minors. Two things to keep in mind. If you don't like the music or what the artist represents, you are not obligated to listen to it. Two, there are parental advisory stickers warning people that what they are about to hear contains profanity, in other words, phrases or sounds that may be seen as offensive or too young for certain kids. Music cannot be the main problem behind destructive behaviors. Most artists are not glorifying or promoting violence, but simply speaking on things they have experienced or seen in their community. A 2001 U.S. Surgeon General report stated mental stability and home life are the main factors that influence violent acts. If anything, violent or aggressive music such as heavy metal makes people calmer rather than violent. Adults and children know right from wrong. According to a study by the University of Queensland, music tends to affect those who already have issues. Studies have shown you begin to learn/know right from wrong at around 19 months. Nowadays, kids have more access to explicit content due to streaming services. Censoring won't solve this issue. Parents would be better off having discussions and teaching their children about the things they may see or hear rather than sheltering them from the world. Another argument against protecting explicit music includes standing up/challenging authority. For example, NWA's Fuck the Police. The controversy around this being challenging authority could lead to things such as riots and uprisings. While this could be true, it defeats the entire point behind the amendment. One of the main reasons this amendment exists was so people could freely talk about their distaste for the government without consequences. While I can't ignore there have been too many misogynistic songs/lyrics put out, they technically aren't breaking any laws. It's just extremely tone deaf, but some good comes out of it. Using my opponent's example of Rick Ross' line in UOENO created an entire controversy and a discussion used to explain how most males don't understand consent issues in this country. Songs such as this one reflect the need to change aspects of our society. Yes, the lyrics were terrible, and he deserved to get backlash from it. But thanks to that happening, artists are being more mindful of what they say and put out for others to listen to.
So, when it comes to explicit music, it is more important to prevent the harm that can come from it than to ensure it is protected by the First Amendment. Thus, we must be willing to sacrifice a little bit of our freedom for the overall comfort and safety of all communities and people.
There are several arguments aside from promoting violence, encouraging misogyny, and challenging authority that support censorship, which also has valid points. But there are many other factors to consider. Censorship will not solve them. Avoiding an artist and what they represent through their music would be better than the regulation of creative expression. It's time to stop creating scapegoats for the real problems in the world.
Thank you so much for listening to our podcast. We hope that you follow our channels and comment below to engage in the conversation.